Okay, so we are live. It is 3:59 on Friday, the September 29th. So that's the time and date of this recording. And today I have for you something new for this channel. This is a Power Rangers X Cobra Kai, something under the sticker Lightning. Uh, Lightning Collection. Okay, that's what it says. I haven't ever opened any Power Rangers on this show, I don't think. Even though I have a number of Power Rangers figures, and you know, probably one of the biggest action figure lines in the world, one of the best-selling action figure lines, and I have a bunch of them, but I don't like actively collect them. I kind of tend towards Mighty Morphin when I collect Power Rangers stuff because that's the one I more remember, and I buy it sometimes, but not incredibly often. So, but this one is cool because I'm a big fan of the Cobra Kai television show, and Johnny Lawrence is probably my favorite character on said show. For people my age, we would have grown up watching The Karate Kid like a lot. That was one of those '80s movies that, kids my age would go back to again and again and again. You got your Back to the Futures, your Goonies, your Gremlins. It's just one of those where it's like we watch Karate Kid a lot. And when you're a kid and you watch Karate Kid, you think that it's pretty simple. Daniel is the good guy and Johnny is the bad guy. But as we grew up and we watched it more, we noticed more nuance to the characters, and that was something that I really liked. And you start to realize that Johnny and Daniel are not that different, and that really if Johnny's the bad guy, it's because he had a bad teacher, and if Daniel's the good guy, it's because he had a good teacher. If the positions were reversed, you know, things might have gone differently. So the Cobra Kai television show, I think, was kind of based on that. It almost kind of became a meme where characters would root for Johnny Lawrence. You had videos about how Johnny Lawrence was the real hero of Karate Kid. You had Barney on How I Met Your Mother, who idolized Johnny Lawrence. That sort of thing. I forget the name of the band, but they did a song called "Sweep the Leg," all about Johnny Lawrence. It kind of became a thing. So it was inevitable that somebody would do an actual continuation of the Karate Kid, in which Johnny Lawrence is a more sympathetic character, and he wound up to me being like the best character on the show. So I was really excited when I saw that these figures were out, but they're a little on the expensive side, and I've been collecting other things. But I saw this one marked down to like $14, so I figured, well, I got no excuse not to get a Johnny Lawrence for $14. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So let's have a look at the packaging. We got some artwork over here of Johnny in the Ninja Ranger hood. We got the actual figure itself. Got some more artwork on the back. Got a layout of the figure and its accessories. It says that the figure is 152 millimeters or 5.9 inches. And then we got the artwork again on the side. You got the Cobra Kai logo down at the bottom. Over on this side, it says Cobra Kai and Morphed Johnny Lawrence, Black Boar Ranger. That is a mouthful of a name for this character. So, and they do have other characters. Like, I know they had Miguel as the Red Ranger and Daniel as the White Ranger. And the Pink Ranger was Daniel's daughter. So I'm drawing a blank on that character's name right now. Whatever. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll do more of these. I think the Peyton List character, she would be good to have as like the Yellow Ranger. So that's what the inside looks like, and it's just a plain kind of reddish orange background. And then we have a little paper baggie with the figure in it, and a little paper baggie with the accessories in it. Now, I normally don't like the little paper baggies as far as the accessories go, but I do like how they had the figure in the little paper baggie, and then it was just kind of wedged into this cardboard slot. because you know I hate dealing with the plastic tabs. So no plastic tabs for this figure because of the baggie. So that's a good use for this. That's something that I like. But of course, Hasbro's going to go back to having plastic windows in the packaging soon. So yeah, it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? So here we have Johnny out of the package. Pretty decent likeness, you know. So there we go. And he's got the bare arms, like Johnny Lawrence usually has bare arms on his gi. So that's cool. And unfortunately, it looks like the way they did his leg articulation, it's like that same problem that I had with the movie Storm Shadow, where like it's got a thigh cut right where there's wrinkles in the pants. So you kind of have to have it posed in exactly that way so the wrinkles match up. If you turn it ever so slightly, the wrinkles don't match up anymore. And I'd probably prefer for them to like kind of try to hide that joint somehow. So let's go ahead and have a look at the articulation. So his head moves up about that far, moves down about that far, of course, rotates all the way around. He's got a black bandana, which is a soft, rubbery plastic. He's got this cowl around his neck, just kind of a loose piece. I don't know if it maybe could clamp down a little more permanently, but it does not seem like so. His arms go up about that far. So pretty decent range of motion. Not all the way up, but far enough up. And then they rotate all the way around. It does have a butterfly joint and actually a separate piece here where there's that little bit of sleeve. So it doesn't interfere with the articulation too much. And of course, there's a bicep swivel, so the bicep rotates all the way around. We got double jointed elbows that don't have quite as much of a range of motion as I would have expected out of double jointed elbows on a bare arm, but still a decent enough range of motion. Not quite McFarlane Toys good, but still pretty good. Arms move down about that far. He does have an ab crunch. The gi is a soft, rubbery kind of plastic, so you can still get some good range of motion out of there. It does hinder it a little bit, but you know, not too bad, all things considered. So, and then he's got this golden black boar emblem on his chest, and if we look at the back, he has the logo for his dojo Eagle Fang Karate. Eagles don't really have fangs, but you know, he's not thinking about that. He's just like slamming together two words that are cool. Eagles are cool. Fangs are cool. What about an eagle fang? How about that? So legs go up about that far. So just slightly less than 90 degrees, but close enough to 90 degrees. And it did seem like it's a little stiff, but I was able to coax it. So that's about how far up his legs go. And he can do the splits no problem, which is good because he's a karate guy. And does it have the? It does have the drop down hips that we're familiar with from the GI Joe Classified. So that's cool. And then he's got double jointed knees, go about that far. And he does have a boot cut, so the boot rotates all the way around. And the ankle bends up about that far and bends back about that far. And then it's the kind of rocker ankles, so they move all the way around like that. So that is pretty much the articulation on the figure. So, and like I said, it's a good likeness of William Zabka. You can definitely recognize the actor in there. So let's go ahead and set that aside for now, since we've looked at the figure already. And we will look at the accessories that he came with. And he's got a lot of hands. And there's the ninja mask. So we'll set that aside. And there's like a, you know, Hadouken. So he can have some ninja power to his punch. And then this piece which we'll figure out what that is in a second. But I'm guessing it has something to do with the ninja hood. And then we have like this kind of karate knuckle punch kind of hand. And then we have kind of a, grappling hand. So a lot of good expressions for the hands and everything there. All right, so we do not have on here a picture of the character with the ninja hood on, but what I'm guessing that extra piece is probably a piece that we put around his neck while he's wearing the ninja hood, because it'll help hide the flesh color of the neck. But before we do that, let's go ahead and try to put the head on there without the ninja hood, or without the that little piece. So we have the ninja hood head on there, and you can indeed see some of his neck sticking out in between the hood and the cowl. So that convinces me that I am indeed correct, and this piece is supposed to go in between. So I'm not sure which way it goes. So I'm going to just try to guess as best I can. I think it goes like that. So when we pop the ninja hooded head on, this neck piece kind of wraps around the bottom of his chin and meets with the cowl. And it actually does retain a decent amount of articulation as far as that goes. It does hinder it a little bit, and the head kind of popped off when I turned it that way, so I'm going to make sure it's on all the way. But it's still like, it still has a good range of motion to it, considering how everything came together. It looks really cool when it's all put together with the ninja hood like that. So I definitely like that. So now that we've gone over that, let's go ahead and put some of these alternate hands in here and see what it looks like with alternate hands. So first with the knuckles, and then with this kind of like grappling hand. And we can get a good karate pose out of that. How about that? There we go. Now, I do wish that they had some hands that could hold some accessories, like some weapons or something, if you wanted to, give him some ninja weapons or whatever. But he doesn't really come with any accessories like that, so I can see why they might have skipped over it in terms of like, saving a little bit of money. But still, I think it would have been better if he had some hands that could hold accessories. But hopefully, if you want to do that, you've got some extra hands, maybe from like a Valaverse figure, or maybe even if you're a collector of Power Rangers figures, from other Power Rangers figures. So it's a really cool figure. Like, I think that anybody who would be a fan of Cobra Kai, the television series, would like to have this, because just as its own, it's a pretty cool figure of Johnny Lawrence. Actually, let's take this part off and see what it looks like just with the collar. And I don't think it looks as good that way, because it kind of just looks kind of plain. But it was worth taking a look at it just to see what it looked like without the cowl on there. So I'm going to put it back. But yeah, it's a really good action figure of Johnny Lawrence. If you're a purist about it, maybe you might not care for the Power Rangers sort of elements to it. But I think if it is the sort of thing where you don't mind it, or even at least could look past the Power Rangers elements of it, it does make for a pretty cool, just a cool figure of Johnny Lawrence just in general. And likewise, if you're a Power Rangers fan and you don't really care for the Cobra Kai aspect of it too much, you could probably just swap it out for the ninja head and just have him be just like a plain, ninja ranger of some kind. So yeah, it's definitely a figure worth picking up, especially for the price that I got it at. So hopefully I can get some more of these. I would definitely like to have Miguel, and so they had Miguel, and they had Daniel, and they had Daniel's daughter, who I'm still drawing a blank on her name right now, which is irritating. Mary Mauser is the actress's name. So she was the Pink Ranger, Daniel was the White Ranger, and Miguel was the Red Ranger. So that means they could probably also do a Yellow Ranger and a Blue Ranger. So I guess maybe the Blue Ranger could be Johnny's son, and the Yellow Ranger, like I said, could be the Peyton List character because I like her. So, so yeah, these are pretty neat. Oh, and they also had a putty patroller, which I thought as a clever thing. They had him in the skeleton costume, from the Halloween party in the first movie. So that was a nice callback. But yeah, this is a great figure. I'm definitely glad to have it. I think he'll even fit in pretty well with my GI Joe figures. Like as far as that goes. Let's got rock and roll handy here. There's what he looks like next to rock and roll, just so you get some idea. And rock and roll is a little taller, but he's a big dude, so I don't mind that. And we got another one around here, Shipwreck. So there's what he looks like next to Shipwreck. So yeah, this will fit in pretty well with your GI Joes. If you'd rather do a Cobra Kai GI Joe crossover than a Power Rangers Cobra Kai crossover, you could still pull that off. So yeah, like imagine like Johnny Lawrence after his defeat at the All Valley tournament, and somebody like say I don't know Zartan or somebody comes along and takes him under his wing, and he winds up going from Cobra Kai to just plain Cobra. How about that? He gets trained by Storm Shadow or somebody to be an actual ninja. So there's all kinds of things you could do with toys, and different stories and scenarios that you can dream up. But this guy is definitely worth picking up. I might even try to get a second one if I can get it for clearance prices, and just have one that I just leave the ninja hood on him all the time, because I think that would be pretty cool. So and if I do that, then I could probably try to get him some different hands where he can hold some ninja weapons, and maybe 3D print him like a ninja sword or something like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. If you want to catch these when I go live, hit the little bell, and that'll warn you anytime I go live, and you can tune in. Right now, I'm mostly doing, in addition to my action figure boxings, I started a project where I've been watching Batman the Animated Series and just kind of giving my commentary on it as I watch it. So if you want to catch any of those, I've got a whole playlist full of them below, and a whole various playlists full of various action figure unboxings. I need to update some of them though. Like I think my GI Joe one is almost up to date, but I definitely need to update my Masters of the Universe and the DC and the Marvel videos. So probably get to work on that sometime soon. But anyway, thanks for watching. In a few minutes, I'm going to come back and do another episode of Batman the Animated Series. So we will talk to you next time. Bye.